Welcome back to your
Second.
favorite sports podcast. We are back with episode, man, I don't even know. Is this 15? Is
I
this
think this is 14.
14? 14.
I want to say
Episode
14.
14. Who's 14?
Shoot. 14. Big 14. Let's see. Sam Darnold. Who else?
I don't want this to be the Sam Darnold episode.
14. 14.
Is Stephon Diggs 14?
Stephon Diggs is 1-4. He is.
There you go.
Let's roll.
And
Stephon
it's contemporary. It's with the times. There we go. Stephon Diggs. We'll go with it.
I like it.
Comes on strong. I mean, that's really all I could say. I don't know. It's really fast. Hey, well, there's that. I mean, this episode actually, we're making a little change with the pod, and the episodes are going to be shortened up a little bit. They're going to be faster. Stephon Diggs is fast. There you go. I made the connection.
I see you. Like, that's
Anyway.
why you're a pro.
Before we get into it, of course, youtube.com/second favorite sports is where to watch every episode. SoundCloud.com/second favorite sports is where to listen to every episode. And at second favorite sports on Instagram is where to catch us on social media and interact with the different things that we post, including the bracket, which we talked about in the last episode, the NBA duos bracket, which Trent, I have the results here from round 2. We decided round 1. If you haven't watched that episode, go back, watch episode 13, where we go through the whole bracket. And the Splash Bros visit Sexland. And that's the name of the episode. But we have round 2. It was decided on our Instagram at second favorite sports. And Trent, I'm gonna tell you right now, first things first, it was chalk. It was entirely chalk, and it was blowouts.
Really?
Oh yeah. So I'll run through them quick because really, there's really not. It was that decisive. There's not much to discuss. So first we had Bron and Brow. We had LeBron and Anthony Davis going up against Luka and Kristaps.
Yeah.
81%.
Wow.
Voted
81.
Bron and Brow.
Wow.
So, not surprising that they won, but I thought Luka would get a little more love.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had local boys, personal favorites of ours, Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell, going up against Damon CJ. Damon CJ took that 100%.
Wow.
Not a person voted for D'Lo and Cat in that matchup.
Jeez. Decisive.
Very decisive. Moving on to the semifinals, Damon CJ. Then we had your boys, KD and Kyrie.
Before they were third, though. Check that. Before we became a trio.
Yes, exactly.
Life comes at you fast.
Going up against Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. That one was another one, 81%. KD
81.
and Kyrie.
Okay.
And that really, probably that 19% was people just hating because of the James Harden trade.
Those are Knicks fans.
And then this was an interesting number. It had to be like one person voted for the opposite. We had the Splash Bros, Clay and Steph, going up against Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And 94% to 6%.
Wow. Wow.
So all the top seeds won. All the higher ranking seeds won. It's all 1s and 2s left. That is entirely it. It's 2 1s and 2 2s. So it's almost exactly what you'd expect at this point. And actually, it might be 3 1s and a 2. I think that's what it is. I think KD and Kyrie were a 1 also. So it's 3 1s and a 2. And it's going to be LeBron James and Anthony Davis going up against, I believe it's going to be going up against KD and Kyrie. And then it's going to be the Splash Bros going up against Dame and CJ, which we actually see quite often in real life. So we'll see if it plays out the same as it does on the court. But so you can check out at Second Favorite Sports to go and vote in those polls. They'll be up shortly after this episode comes out. So stay tuned to at Second Favorite Sports on Instagram, and you'll be able to vote there. But, I mean, not surprising, but it was it was lopsided.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That's a lot of chalk for real. Like, hey, listen, we're leading high seed for sure.
Yeah. But I can't blame people. I think this round should be better. I mean, the Bron and Brow versus Katie and Kyrie. That's a big matchup.
That is.
That's a big matchup. So, and that's like newer duos going head to head, and then the old duos are going head to head with Damon CJ and the Splash Bros. Those are like some real tried and true duos right there. I'm excited to see who comes out on top. It's anyone's game right now, if you're asking me.
Yeah, I think so too. I
But
think so too, for sure.
the meat and potatoes of this episode will be about. I had a question for you, Trent. I don't know why I keep using that analogy. That's lazy that I keep using the same analogy. But I wanted to ask you because I had this thought. I don't know if it was the Tiger documentary that made me think about. I really don't know what made me think about it, but we always have these great ideas on here that we just give away. We give away just brilliance on
We
this
give out a
podcast.
lot of game.
But
I
think we're gonna have to do it again. I figure we'll give a gift. We'll give a gift to the film industry today. Because my question to you, Trent, is if you had to make a movie or a short series, say like 5 episodes or less, about either like a current athlete or not a current athlete, an athlete or a moment in sports, who would you make your movie about? Like, pitch me a movie. Pitch me a movie about a particular athlete or a moment in sports. Or a sports figure, we'll say. Could be a broadcaster, could be anybody. Sports figure.
Gotcha.
I'll give you one of mine first. First one that came to mind for me. The Dennis Rodman movie. I mean,
I would love to see it.
I need it to be rated R. Okay. We gotta cast someone, and I want true to size. Like, I want a big dude to. I don't want like Hollywood Magic to put, Michael B. Jordan's face on a 7-footer and tell me it's Dennis Rodman. Like, I want a big dude to play Dennis Rodman.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, I want it rated R. I mean, does this even need selling?
I don't think it does, man.
The Dennis Rodman movie.
Come on. That sells itself.
You got Madonna, you got sex, drugs, you got championship rings. Michael Jordan. Yo, who would play Michael Jordan in the Dennis Rodman movie? What?
Mike. Who's playing Mike?
They would probably get Michael B. Jordan to play Michael Jordan.
With Tyrese? Tyrese could do it.
Yeah. Ooh.
Tyrese could play Mike. I'm trying to think of who could play Dennis. Who could play?
I don't know. You got to get a big dude.
You got to get a weird-looking dude in the face, too, because Dennis is just a weird-looking guy.
Yep. I mean, think of all the iconic scenes you could have in that movie, though, like the wedding dress, winning the championships, going from Detroit to Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, everything that went on in his life has been so set up to be like this wild ride of a movie already.
It has. It really has.
So to me, sign me up. I'm paying the price of admission to go see the Dennis Rodman movie for sure.
Absolutely.
He stole the show in that in what was it, The Last Dance?
Last Dance, yeah.
He stole the show in that. With all that like you seen that where they just like splice together all his weird movements?
He's a nut. He's crazy.
And then there's the whole thing with like now what he's involved with and all the ridiculousness he does now. Like, I don't even know if you'd want to loop that in, but you could. Oh, another good one. I'll wait. You got, what do you got?
Excuse me. It's late over here, guys. I would say to me, like the Jeremy Lin. Like if you
that's good.
Jeremy Lin, I'm surprised. Like, there's got to be some Chinese movie done, like some film made in China that about his life. But yeah, like I think his story is incredible. Like,
and you're tapping into if you're pitching me, if I'm in a pitch meeting, you're tapping into a large contingent of Asian people throughout the world.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like how many movies about Asian sports stars could there even be?
Well, yeah, exactly. How many are there?
Like, what opportunity is there even?
Yeah, I mean, I think his story is incredible, for sure.
Technically, Tiger's Asian. Tiger Woods.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, Jeremy Lin, like there you go. Just the name itself, like it's like, yo, like this guy, like just the vibe it would create, and like it is really a remarkable story if you really think about it.
You know what would be cool? A movie like that would be cool if it were done. Like, give me just a movie about Linsanity, like just the few weeks or whatever, and then kind of do like almost like a Slumdog Millionaire, like flashing back
Hmm.
to moments in his life. But so
Absolutely.
like give me the Jeremy Lin story, but really do it in this moment, in this like microcosm of his life, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That'd be cool.
I
That'd
think
be
so
cool.
too. I think that'd be crazy.
Almost like a 24. Like you remember the show 24?
Mhm.
It was like the whole season was a day.
Yes.
Like make the whole movie just like a week.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
I like that one. That's outside the box right there.
Yeah. 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 I'm just surprised they haven't done it yet, personally.
Maybe it's
But
in a can.
it's in the. It got to be in a can. It's in a tuck somewhere. How
You
about
want to
you?
know my other one that I thought of?
Let me think. Let me hear
The Doc Gooden movie.
it.
Like I know they've done, obviously they've made documentaries about it or whatever, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
in the cinematic form, in a movie form, in a film,
That's the one.
that's like Wolf of Wall Street, like like I mean, again, a lot of my ideas come back to there's sex and drugs and whatever, but that's what moves the needle.
That's what makes great movies: is sex and drugs and failure and success. Like
Yes.
they all go hand in hand almost.
And just like even to this day, like Doc is like, I don't know if you heard about this, but Doc did this whole thing where he sold memorabilia or something on a website and then he stole the money from everybody. He never sent the stuff out.
You're lying.
No, I'm
Are
not
you
lying.
serious? I
This
never
the
even.
website got taken down and all the people that paid for it and they thought like they were helping him get back on the road to recovery and all this. No, he just took the money.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a shame.
So
It's a shame.
even to this day, the story, like the plot thickens to this day.
Yes.
But again, I think of like the scenes in that movie, like him high as a kite
Yes. Yes.
pitching that game.
Absolutely.
That
It
would
would be
be
nuts.
give me like the first person perspective of
It would be
him
nuts.
doing like because he said like I was seeing unicorns in the batter's box and all this
Yeah,
stuff and
that's so crazy. Like what a life and a career, and it's so unfortunate it took like that turn. It's so unfortunate.
you could get some great actors to play like him, Daryl, Keith Hernandez. Like you get some really good actors to do that.
Absolutely.
That'd be fun.
Definitely. Definitely. Let's see. You know what's funny? I would love to see like Floyd Mayweather movie.
Yeah.
Like his Ali movie, his now maybe not that cinematic,
Mm,
but like something along those lines about his life. Because I think for everything that comes with Floyd, he is an incredible. I mean, he's one of the best we've ever seen.
of course.
And
People don't like to admit it.
no, they don't. And I enjoy watching him. I love watching. He's my favorite one to watch because it's just the sweet science that he invokes. But like,
Mhm.
yeah, he's done a lot of crazy, questionable things in his life. But I don't know, something about athletes I gravitate towards who have a like a off whatever field or arena they're in. But when they hop back in it, it's as if
Yeah.
it's like they're in a meditative state almost. Like
Mhm.
I may do all this, but you can't take away my record. You know what I
Have
mean? Like
you seen Soul, the movie, like the new
I have,
Disney Pixar
yes,
movie? It's
mhm,
like that when they talk about like the person being in the zone, like they're
yes,
somewhere between life and the great beyond.
exactly. Out of body
That's
experience.
yeah, that's Floyd in the ring. Like he's in between life and the great beyond. Like he's
Yes,
in his place.
always.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. And I think that enough people would be interested in
I
something
think
like
so.
that.
I think so.
I think I think an interesting one, which maybe might be another one that's in the can, honestly, already, wouldn't surprise me, is New York sports around like basically 9/11 told through the lens of New York sports
Yeah, they gotta.
or just sports in general.
They have to have had done that already.
Because that obviously it's a story we've all heard, especially
Yep.
being from the area.
Yeah, we lived it.
We lived it. But
Hmm.
everyone's heard it at this point. It's in history books and all that. but to tell it through a different lens of sports, which actually was so huge. Like, and we can say that, like, someone who lives in Oklahoma City
Yeah.
or Tucson or whatever. Shout out to Oklahoma City and Tucson. They might not quite understand. Like, they've seen the footage of the Mike Piazza game, like all the stuff that went down, but they may not understand just how important the sports were
Changed everything.
to just the recovery mentally, emotionally, pulling you up out of the depths of just what was utter despair and like
Yeah.
confusion. But I think it'd be really cool. I don't know if it's a movie or maybe just a short series about, like, I really liked when what was it, HBO did The Bronx is Burning,
Yep. They
which
did.
was like, which I love that stuff. I love the parallelism, or like I guess the parallel. I don't know if that's what it would be called, but when like two types of stories run parallel to each other, like you had Son of Sam murdering people
Hmm.
at the same time that the Yankees are hot as a pistol and have Billy Martin managing Reggie Jackson. Like,
Crazy times, man.
so great. And they did that series so well. I could see something similar for telling the story of 9/11 through New York sports.
No, for sure. I
Like,
love that.
what was Derek Jeter doing when it happened? You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? And like, and how did it feel being an athlete and wanting to help and use your platform, but you can only do so much. And then realizing like you're not a hero, these guys are heroes, and like
Absolutely.
having to check your ego
Hmm.
and just the whole thing. And I think about these, again, I keep talking about these moments in the movie because that's what makes a movie, right? Is the great scenes in a movie. That's what it sticks out in your head, whether it's I don't know. You can pick any movie that you've ever seen that you really enjoy. The final scene in Avengers Endgame, like that's
Yeah.
that's what'll always stick out in your mind
Yeah.
about that movie. Like the Bush throwing out the first pitch and then the home run. Like that's the moment that would
Yes.
stick out in this. That would be the crux of this whole thing for me.
Definitely. Definitely. Like I remember there was a 30 for 30 for the Raider, not the Raiders, excuse me, Athletics Giants. And remember they had the earthquake during the series.
Yes. Yep.
That's what you mean. It's like wow, like what was going on at that time?
Yes.
I would love to see. I don't know how they would do it, but when Kobe passed, like that day,
Oh my gosh.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like what was that day like for everyone? Even though we lived it, I can't imagine like the people who were like. I mean, we were trying to figure out what was going on, and I guess this kind of coincides with like that day when coronavirus hit and they canceled the season
Yeah.
as well. Like you could kind of tie to both in because I mean, there were games that probably should have been canceled when Kobe died, and games were canceled when coronavirus hit. But like, you kind of had the same feeling for both almost, and maybe probably more despair and more like emotion towards Kobe. But I mean, how poor? Like, I just think about those players not wanting to play. They didn't want to play that day. I know they didn't.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so so yeah. I mean, I think I would love to have gone into what was Trey Young thinking when he found out? What was we all know what Kyrie did when he found out, but like
Yep.
what was LeBron thinking about when he got off that plane from the road trip? Like it's just crazy, crazy. R.I.P. Cole, man.
Of course.
We're coming up on that.
It's coming up. Yep.
What is that? In 4 days?
Vanessa asked that people not post pictures of the crash and all that stuff. She's been asking stuff, which, she's of course entitled to, but people are going to do whatever the hell they're going to do anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, to me, that movie or series or whatever it might be, I don't want to know. I don't want to see anything about what actually happened.
No.
It's like you're saying. What I care. I think the more interesting thing is the reaction,
Yes.
because we all had it. We all had our own. And so we could so relate to LeBron finding out, to Trey Young finding out, to Shaq finding out. Like,
Yeah.
we could all relate to that because we
Absolutely.
all had that moment. The moment you first read it or someone said it to you. I remember exactly where I was. I remember the people I was with. I remember my phone. My phone has never been blown up to the point where I literally looked at it and it said aloud who died because I
Yes.
had so many notifications on my phone.
You were saying that facetiously. It was like, like,
Yes, yeah, because you say like who died? Like people are always calling. I was literally like who died, but didn't think it was. First off, didn't really think someone was dead, but also wasn't.
didn't
You
even
could
think
have
of the
given me
Kobe.
a million guesses. I wouldn't have said Kobe Bryant.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
So
It was shocking. It was completely shocking. Like, just mind blowing information. It was I remember because it was Sunday, and I was laying on the couch. The Nets were going to play the Knicks later that day, and I'm laying on the couch like at 1 o'clock, and I got a. It was on TMZ. Came up. Kobe Bryant has passed away died in a plane crash, in a helicopter crash, and I was like, nah, this isn't. And then I saw it on ESPN, and then people were picking it up, and I was like, oh my god, like this is crazy. This is insane. And I just remember my heart, I was like, I can't believe what I'm watching.
yeah, I was numb. I couldn't
Yes.
even fathom. I couldn't put it together when. And I was with a bunch of people. I was at I forget. It was like a christening or something. It was some kind of a gathering like that.
Mhm.
And man, I had so many messages. I had messages and voicemails and I don't have it on my phone where you can like read it. You have to like for me, you have to open the phone to read the messages. So I didn't know what any of them said. I just saw I had messages from a bunch of different group chats and people and voicemails and this and that. Because everyone knows I'm a huge sports fan and a huge Kobe Bryant fan. So like I'm the person people think like, does Nick know?
Mhm.
Um, and I remember I said it aloud at the table, and everyone I was with was like, "Huh?"
Yeah,
And
that's
I
what
was
my
like, "Yeah." And I was with a bunch of basketball fans,
yeah.
so it wasn't like saying it to people who were like, "Oh, sad." It was people that were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa. Excuse me."
Yes. What are you talking about?
It was crazy, man.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. But R.I.P. Cole, man. I can't believe it's gonna be a year. I can't
Yeah,
believe it's gonna be a year, man. Like,
it's all. I like. It really feels like he's just gonna like show up one day.
I
Like
know
it's crazy.
it
It's
is.
it's. I don't know. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad we went off on this. I'm glad we went. I'm glad we took that left turn or that right turn or whatever you want to
Absolutely,
say.
absolutely.
Because yeah, we never really talked about it. I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Yeah, definitely. Thoughts are out with their whole family and and it doesn't get lost in it, but like to lose your spouse is one thing, but like people say, like I'll hold my spouse in front of me, in front of my child to save my child. Like it's just like an unspoken thing with parents of their children. Like, yeah, I love you to death, but like if it's you or this thing we made, you're done.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
also the fact of like what Vanessa and their whole family has had to go through with the loss of their daughter and those other families too losing
Mhm.
young children.
Crazy.
Man, that's like just tragedy on top of tragedy. So not just thinking about Cole, but all those folks and also never get myself on a helicopter. Tell you that right now.
Nah,
Okay.
man.
It
Nah.
honestly wasn't gonna happen before that happened.
Yeah,
But after that, there's zero like what a hit the helicopter industry took
and it's
that
relatively
day.
safe. It's safer. It's pretty safe because you can land them anywhere. That's the thing about
Right.
helicopters.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can land those anywhere you want because you don't
But I
need like
think they're
runway.
more like prone to issues.
You would think because of the propellers and the wind, and it's hard
Like
to
there was a
determine
point where I
exactly.
was working in the city and the helicopter crashed into a building.
Mm.
And this was after the Kobe thing.
Because you could fly it anywhere. You're like, all right, like
Yes.
I could fly this and land this on the street if I needed to. But then that comes with, we could hit One World Trade, or we could hit a building.
Yeah, or like you could just catch a stiff breeze and you're
Yeah,
blown off and now you're whatever. There's all kinds of stuff that goes into it. Bill Burr talks about it a lot because he flies helicopters.
yeah,
So I've listened to him talk about how much goes into just knowing like barometric pressure and all this stuff. So there's so much that can go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
So look, it wasn't taking much convincing to keep me out of a helicopter before,
Nah.
but definitely not now. Anyway, now that we've discussed the helicopter industry and Kobe Bryant, I would definitely, that would be a really cool whatever movie series to see like different people's reaction
Yeah.
to, and just the day. Just give me the day. Like how I was saying before, 24. Like give me that the 24 hours post.
Absolutely.
I don't need to know anything pre. I don't want to see Kobe having breakfast before. I don't want to see Vanessa having breakfast. I don't want to see Vanessa saying bye to them. I don't want to see any of that.
No.
I don't even want to see them at all. I just want to see everyone else.
That's it.
That would be interesting and relatable.
Mm-hmm.
You could even, I bet you anything that those athletes, so say you wanted to follow like LeBron for the day, whomever, Kyrie for the day, Shaq for the day, whoever, I bet you they would all play themselves. They would have no problem all playing themselves for that.
Definitely. Definitely.
And it would be so real and raw. It would be great.
It would. It would be unbelievable. It'd be
And
fantastic.
it'd be a great tribute, and also kind of probably cathartic for them too.
Yeah, I think so too. From a just letting that out, because I don't think they relive. I don't think they live those. They may keep that down, or they might be living it every day. You know what I mean? A guy like LeBron, who was so close to him, and I know Kyrie feels it still. He has to.
Mm-hmm.
He has to be, because that was his guy, and Kobe was mentoring him. You know, and you lose somebody like that in the league, I think that leads to a lot of stuff that just we may be seeing now, or we've never seen. You know, so.
Or like even if it was an all Laker, like all, I don't know, like give me like Phil Jackson that day, give me Pau Gasol that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I like that. That's a good idea.
For sure.
Trying to think if there's a like a more lighthearted, like, because all my things have been sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and now you're talking about a past legend, and like it's all heartache and stuff. I'm trying to think if there's a nice positive, nice Disney worthy story to round this out. I know does Deshaun Watson have something coming out? I saw something with Clemson that he's involved with. It's a movie.
It's about a safety, just a true story about a safety whose parents die, and he has to bring his brother to live with him on campus at Clemson, which is incredible. Like to take care of your younger brother and play football at an elite school like Clemson. There should be a movie written about you for sure. Yeah. But
have you ever heard about all the stuff that Michael Orr says is wrong about The Blind Side? Like all the stuff they lied about, or like just wasn't true?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. There's articles and articles about it, but like so much of it is stretched. Of course, it's Hollywood, but like so much of it is stretched and not true to what happened at all. And just strange that, but that's the kind of stuff like you can make a movie about an offensive lineman, and it ends up being a hit. Like that's why I like. That's how I said before that Jeremy Lin. That's thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like a LeBron movie. That's a good one. I don't know. Have you ever heard Yetur Gross? You know who Yetur Gross-Matos is?
No.
So Yetur Gross-Matos, he plays for the Panthers. I wanted the Giants to draft him. He's a defensive end. He went to Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy, his story. It's crazy. There's a video out there where he talks about it. I think it was for College Game Day. But this is one that could definitely be at least a miniseries, at least. But his father drowned. He was an infant on a boat, which, by the way, what are we doing? Why was the infant on the boat? But dad and infant goes into the water. Infant Yetur falls in the water, and his grandfather and father dive in to save him, and his father got swept up by the water and died trying to save his life.
Yeah.
And then as a young kid, his older brother, they were playing baseball, and they were on the team together, and a thunderstorm rolls through, and his older brother goes, Etor, go wait in the car. We're just going to keep our arm warm and play catch. This kid turns around to go walk away from his older brother. Lightning strikes and kills his brother.
Oh my goodness.
Not like 50 feet away from him.
What?
After his brother just like pushed him away and said, like, go in the car. It's dangerous. Don't stay out here. Brother got struck by lightning.
Oh man.
And he told the story about how he could smell his brother.
Oh,
like he could
man.
smell
like the burning
what
of
just
his,
happened.
like the burning flesh.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
And just like, and to go through all that and find a way not only to like continue living, but to reach this level, and now is in the NFL. And he had like this was his rookie year, and he had an okay year, but it would just be to me, like, yes, that is sadness, but from sadness comes hope, like
Yes. Every time.
I'm sure, get him involved in the thing somehow. And he comes off as a nice kid, and like he has a good message to share. I think that'd be cool. I think that's like something kind of random and a defensive end, but that story, I mean, sheesh, man, your father, he talks too about the immense feeling of responsibility to them to succeed in life, because his father literally sacrificed his life trying to save him.
Mm-hmm.
And then his brother saving his life by saying, get off the field.
Mm-hmm.
And literally seconds later, his brother dies. And if he were standing next to his brother, electricity travels, he would have died also. So
incredible. It's like you had to do something with your life at that point.
Yes, that's what he says. And I think there are people out there who feel that way, even if it's not because someone died, but maybe your parents, I feel that way. My parents struggled, not to, I don't want to say struggled, but they busted their butts my whole life to try and give me every advantage in life. And I feel an immense amount of responsibility to make something of myself.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a common thing. Like, I think that'd be a cool story to tell in a cinematic form, because people will find commonality with that aren't even sports fans.
Yeah, definitely. I think, listen, man, I think that's a great one. That's a great one, man. I can't even find nothing to go with that one right there.
We can leave it off on that right there. And you know what? It's a good place to end too, because then people can go look up Etor Gross Matos. It's Yetur is his name. But go check that story out. It's definitely super interesting.
That's crazy.
And it should make you a fan of his.
Yeah, definitely.
Just everything this kid's gone through. And I think there's something too about he befriended a little kid or something, how these guys do that, but like on top of everything else, and then he befriended a little kid. It's a whole thing, but very, very interesting story. But we can end it right there. I think look, we've given Hollywood enough. If we don't see one of those in the next 5 years,
somebody's not watching the show.
Exactly. Or they're waiting for us to fall off.
Of course.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. We're not allowing you to take the IP, okay?
Absolutely not. Speaking of IP, next episode will be IP. Stay tuned for that. Episode 15.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned for 15 IP, and stay tuned for more IP episodes. But this non-IP zoomed in remote episode has come to an end. Don't forget to check us out at Second Favorite Sports on Instagram, where you can vote for the NBA duos bracket. It's the semifinals, only 4 duos left. So definitely go check it out. And don't forget to like the video if you're watching on YouTube, like it on SoundCloud, drop a comment, all that stuff. If you got movie ideas, hit us up at Second Favorite Sports or drop it in the comments. We love hearing it, and it helps us out too. Any activity around our stuff elevates it and helps more people see it. So we appreciate that for sure. But that's all we got for today. Any closing remarks, Trent? I think we rounded it out.
Yeah, man. No, it's always good to do these, and we got more coming, guys. Stay tuned.
And I'll tell you this, guys. I commend Trent this episode for not once bringing up the Nets trio. because
Yeah.
I know it's all that's on his mind is just a loop of the fact that his team now has Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. I know this is a loop in his mind, and his Jets got a nice new head coach too. It's a good week to be Big T.
Solid week, man. It's a solid week. And if with Deshaun Watson keeps liking all this Jet stuff, you might send me off the deep end. You may not get me back, my boy. You may not get me back. I might
He's
be
just gonna
walking on the pods.
Yeah, he's just gonna have a perma grin on that IP episode, that next episode 15.
Absolutely.
This is gonna be like that. He's gonna be looking like the Joker out here.
Exactly.
Well, I'll tell you what, I hope for it. I hope for it for you. I wouldn't mind bringing Deshaun to New York.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
We'll see what happens. I don't know. Last time we signed off this podcast, James Harden got traded. Who knows what's going to happen this time?
You never know, man. You never know.
Make sure no matter what happens, you come back for episode 15 next week. But that's all we got for today. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Catch y'all later. Peace.
Peace.